Over the last few months, Grow Garden has had the biggest fall out of any Roblox game on the platform. Out of all the popular games right now, Grow a Garden has fell more than any of these games in this picture. And unfortunately, there is several reasons why this is the case. A few months ago, Grow Garden used to be the most popular game on Roblox, and matter of fact, it remains to be a very popular game. However, the idea of it dying is definitely no question. The game was very simple. All you would do was head over to the seed shop, purchase some of your favorite seeds, such as a tomato seed, and then grab it ever so often when the timer, resets, and basically just plant it down in your garden. This idea quickly developed with a lot of people because there's one feature in the game that actually makes it so replayable. And that was this feature right here, the grow offline feature, where you could literally leave the game and your garden still continues to grow. The game actually gained so much credibility over this, and you might by now, you probably see this feature in every single game, whether it's about plants or whatever it is. You will earn something offline when you rejoin the game once again. And this set very high standards for Roblox games, and it became so popular. To this day, Grow a Garden stands on that title with this feature and them introducing it. I could leave the game right now, and when I come back, my plants are grown. However, my entire garden is already grown. Another very important factor is the admin abuses that the game has. Grow Garden was the first ever game on Roblox to make admin abuses big. Admin abuses have actually been a thing for a very long time, so it's not a new idea that they've introduced, but they definitely popularized it across every single game, especially right before the game kind of updates. And in case you haven't noticed and haven't played right when the updates come out, the updates quickly transition from the admin abuse straight to the update. So you don't even have to leave the game, rejoin, or anything like that. It just comes. Once again, this obviously set crazy standards, and every Roblox game by now probably does it if they have over 100,000 players. Across all these games here, other than Brookhaven, there is literally no game that does not have a type of admin abuse or live event. The reason why they do this is, well, they get so much players, and that is how Grow a Garden was able to hit literally world records bigger than that of Fortnite. But why, after all of these things that they've set on Roblox, after all of these standards, why is the game failing? And well, there is a very complicated answer to that. First of all, being that the game has been out for a while. It has actually been out longer than Steal a Brainrot and all these other games. You're probably wondering why Steal a Brainrot still has 800,000 players in comparison to Grow a Garden, which definitely has a lot less, and I will go into depth about that. But usually when any type of game is out for so long, like take example Fortnite. It used to be so popular, but now it's pretty much dead, or it has been dying, I should say. But any game that has been out for a long time, it slowly starts losing its interest. People stop becoming interested in it, and that is by far one of the biggest factors out of anything when it comes to game development, keeping players interested over months of time, and that is so hard to do. Grow a Garden has done a great job of that. I mean, it is still a very fun game, don't get me wrong. However, there's a bunch of problems with it that arise every single update. First of all, to mention, one of the problems, for example, is every single update seems to be an event. As you guys know, we actually have not received an update that is not an event in as long as I can remember. I think the last time it was not so much of an event was when we had like the summer update. Bro, that was like over 3 months ago now, which is crazy to think about because now we have some random event called the Nutty Fever or Nutty Acorn Fat Chipmunk stuff. Don't get me wrong, these events are not bad at all, but the problem with them is that every single time you join the game, you kind of already know what to expect, and you know that every single event is going to be right here, smack down in the middle. You're going to have to do some tasks, and you know the exact rewards, which are literally just going to be some gears and maybe a few new seats. In case you aren't aware, Grow Garden had its exponential growth when they introduced pets into the game for the first time. It was a very cool feature. It basically allowed you to have these guys roaming around your garden. By the way, all of them are animated, which is super cool, and they do a bunch of stuff. For example, this rainbow Spinosaurus that I have right here, every 14 minutes it devours a random mutation and applies it to a different fruit. These weren't big at first, but they quickly began to become one of the biggest things inside of the game, and it was really, really cool. And when you had admin abuses, such as the one with like Travis Kelce, in case you don't remember, it literally was its own entire big thing. Or the admin abuse war that we had against literally one of the most popular games, Steal a Brain Rot. All of these events were so cool because they had so many rewards and there was a lot of effort put into them. Like, you cannot deny that some of these rewards aren't very good. I mean, I literally still use one of them up to this day, and that is the Lemon Lion right here, which, as you can see, it's very good because every 5 minutes this guy roars while applying the brain rot mutation to a random fruit, and every 10 minutes he applies 1,500 bonus experience to a random pet. The mutation is worth a lot, and so is the XP. It is definitely a lot of XP being applied to a pet every single 10 minutes. But that unfortunately leads me to my next problem. If I go ahead and run around my garden, and as you can see, you've probably been seeing the text at the top of my screen, there's constant mutations being added to my plants. And if I actually run around, you will quickly notice that literally every single thing in here almost has a mutation, if not multiple. Some of my stuff have like so many mutations, bro, especially if I go like over to this side. Yes, as you can see, I can't even count that, bro. That's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. That used to be the amount of mutations the game had in the first few updates. There was not as many mutations as there is now, with there being over 104 of them. Don't get me wrong, it's really cool to get mutations, and the developers kind of have to do that, which is another reason why I also say that people slowly lose interest because of the amount of content added to the game, and that is normal in any game. However, this game has far more mutations than any other game, and getting mutations on your stuff now kind of sucks. Not because it sucks to get the mutation, but it just does not feel rewarding anymore. If you were to play this game for the first time and it's your actual absolute first time playing, you would probably be very, very happy with getting a bunch of mutations. I know for a fact I was. When I got my first ever mutation on even just a carrot or whether it was a bamboo, I was the most excited person in the world. However, that just doesn't hit anymore. In case you also didn't know, Jandel himself has actually been distancing himself away from the game bit by bit. He now actually owns one of the most popular games right here, Plants vs. Brain Rots, which is literally just grow a garden plus steal a brain rot combined into Plants vs. Zombies. He's actually been posting a lot about this on his TikTok as well, which is another reason why there hasn't been just much attention granted to this game. Like, he quite literally has not done the admin abuse consistently in a very long time. It's been well over a month now. And just to prove my point further, as you can see, he is the Yogurt King, or aka basically the owner of the Discord server for this Plants vs. Brain Rots game. Because of that, Jai has actually been the one controlling most of the updates, doing the admin abuses, which leads me to my next conversation. Jandel has obviously been the face of this game for the longest time. Every single admin abuse, you would see his name at the top of the screen where, you know, he's sending his little goofy messages even though he can't spell. But now is Jai, to the point where he's not a bad admin abuse host at all, but it is no longer just of interest to many players to join the game early in the morning every time. Reason for that being is not because the rewards are bad. I mean, oh my god, there's a level of lollipop in stock, but usually when they do admin abuses now, there's like 200 level of lollipops. That's how much got given away in the last update. But as you can see, the next Grow Garden update right here on this date, according to me, is at 9 a.m. That's the time that every single Grow Garden update has been for a very long time. But that becomes a problem. And you know why? Steal a Brain Rot used to update a whole day before Grow Garden, aka not having a crazy amount of competition with the game. It was sometime on Friday until it was quickly changed to Saturday because of school. And some very smart move that Steal a Brain Rot popped off in comparison to Grow a Garden, they put their update time right after Grow a Garden. For me, Grow a Garden or Steal a Brain Rot updates at 2 p.m. CST, meaning they update 5 hours after the Grow a Garden update, which literally transfers all the players. Some players obviously aren't going to stay with Steal a Brain Rot. Some of them will prefer Grow a Garden over and over again. However, the problem is the constant flow of players gets players away from the update that has been out for only 5 hours and puts them in a different game where they check out that update and they're like, oh yeah, I want to play this one and not Grow a Garden anymore. This has been tearing down Grow a Garden every single update, and I actually have some charts to show this. This is Google Trends, where you can compare different types of searches, for example, on YouTube, which is the one I'm going to do because, well, I'm a YouTuber. It makes sense. But as you can see, there's two lines. Green, or sorry, not green. Blue is Grow a Garden, and red is Steal a Brain Rot. And as you can see, Grow a Garden had a massive gap on Steal a Brain Rot right here. And during July, there was a huge gap, bro. You can even see it was 63 to 14 searches. I'm pretty sure the way Google Trends calculates this is that every single time 63 searches were done for Grow a Garden on YouTube, there was 14 being made for Steal a Brain Rot. So a lot less interest in that genre. But as you can see, that quickly changed. I believe right here on August 3rd, this might have been like, I don't know, the craziest update. I think this either was like the Travis Kelce thing or the admin abuse war. I'm not sure what that is. But as you can see, this quickly closed in all the way to right here. August 23rd, where it both shot up very far, and the weekend that follows right after that, as you can see, Grow a Garden had just barely beat Steal a Brain Rot. It is so close. And then unfortunately, every single update after that, Steal a Brain Rot has constantly shown greater player limits. They've literally broken the world record, so it no longer is Grow Gardens, and they have shown new heights in comparison to GAG. Is this a bad sign for Grow a Garden? It probably is, yes. But does that mean Grow a Garden is fully dead? No, that is not the case at all. Grow a Garden is far from dead. A dead game is literally a game where there's like little to no players left, and the game still has like 200,000 players, which is incredible. But a few months ago, that was like one of the most popular games in the entire world. But as Jandel diverts his interest from Grow a Garden all the way to Plants vs. Brain Rots, we could see a fall of this trend. I mean, it's already kind of falling. There's not really anything new to see, but it is going to progressively get worse. Grow a Garden is not going to get better from here unless they are able to provide a major change. We've actually not really gotten any crazy feature other than Ascensions, which, by the way, so many people hated to the point where they lost so many players that never came back. It used to work completely different. The way it worked was so bad. It would literally wipe all of your shekels, and then they eventually decided that, no, we're not going to wipe your shekels, and increase the price by 2 trillion every single rebirth. And now the requirements are super easy. Like, get a blueberry, bro. Are you serious? I'm just gonna waddle myself all the way to this Garden Ascension guy. You know, click him. I want to ascend. And boom, there we go. Another ascension that I'm not really gonna care about because the worthiness is not that high. But what can Grow a Garden continue to do to actually improve this and fix the problem? Keep in mind, Jandel has said for many updates that he wants to get into a new era of Grow a Garden. He's literally continuously said it, saying that Evil Jandel is coming back, blah, blah, blah. But so far, literally nothing has happened, and it all seems kind of like cap. First things first, I really think Grow a Garden should just change their update time. Right now, it's before Steal a Brain Rot, meaning that as soon as it drops, there's interest going all the way to Steal a Brain Rot for their admin abuses and all that stuff. I do have to mention, by the way, very good point, Grow a Garden did do something really nice, which was adding another admin abuse on Sundays. This was something that I've suggested in almost every single video, and I can finally stop suggesting it because they eventually did it, and they probably will every single week. The only problem is they didn't actually even announce it last week, so maybe announcing that would also be very good. Players would love to know there's an admin abuse going on. Step 2 of the return. We need Jandel back. That's the truth. I mean, J Latte, he's amazing. He can always be a co-host for the admin abuses, but without Jandel, it just does not feel the same. The excitement is just not there. I mean, Jandel himself really went ahead and leaked this update himself, saying that he's very excited for a brand new plant that he's adding. So why not just host the admin abuses? I think so many people would appreciate this. And don't get me wrong, he's definitely a busy man considering he has two of the most popular games on Roblox. But come on, bro. Their hours are literally different. So I feel like he can do both. And that would be amazing if he can. The second thing that I would love to see in this game is seeing more collaborations, similar to the Travis Kelce one, where, well, this is a Traveler's Fruit, but there was literally rewards given out for that one specifically. It was really cool, similar to the admin abuse war and all that stuff. We need more of that stuff. We haven't got one in a bit, actually. This is the longest gap we've had ever since something cool like that, and it's a little sad. Step number 3, bro. Please stop doing events every single week. Please, please, please. I beg you. Literally, so many people don't even like these events. This one even had a massive bug with it, which, you know, if you know, you know. And it's not rewarding. Like, this all reward section, this sucks. Nobody wants to do this. I have not even finished anywhere close to the end of it. And we would just love to see something new instead. Pets were a very cool addition. What if instead of pets, we had pet cosmetics? Like something that you could add on top of your pet, which they did say that they actually wanted to do this at some point, but it never actually happened. It would be very cool, though, if we could go ahead and get cosmetics on our pets that buffed them, similar to pet mutations. That was one of the coolest things we got in a while. And we haven't really seen any new mutations actually added to that machine. The only mutations we get are ones that are like pet shards, and pet shard nutty is literally a terrible mutation. Like, it is worse to have it on than to have no mutation on. But I'd love to see this list get updated. I mean, something like Ascended being a 0.32% chance for a 150x multiplier mutation every 6 hours. Like, brother, that sucks. My little brain rot dude can do that way faster every single 5 minutes. Really interested on what you guys think, what opinions you have, what features you would love to see. Keep in mind, the developers have watched these videos before. We've seen it with continuous features that got added to the game thanks to these videos. But mainly thanks to you guys. You guys are the ones who let these updates happen. But if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, hurry up and click this video on the screen right here. I went ahead and handpicked it for you. I think it's a really, really good video, so click it fast. This one's about to end. Until then, bye. Hurry, click it.